Welcome to Horns Up. I'm Animesh.
And I'm Peter.
And once again, making his third or his fourth? I don't know, man. Aditya, how many times have you appeared on Horns Up already?
I think this is my third appearance on the podcast.
And this is by far the one that you're most excited about, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And what's the reason for your excitement?
Reason for why me being here and why I am super fanboying at this moment is we are going to talk to one of the most legendary guitar players of all time, that is Dino Cazares from Fear Factory. Like one of my favorite bands ever, man. And thank you very much for having me on this and letting me fanboy again as usual.
Our pleasure, man.
I'll GPay you the payment later.
So wait, Aditya, let's go back to the start because there's a very interesting story of how you became the fanboy that you are today of Fear Factory. Please tell us what's your connection.
So basically, like in 2002, 3 or 4, I don't remember. In between that, my cousin had burnt me like this MP3, which he very patiently downloaded from Napster, and it had Edge Crusher or Shock. I don't remember the song. I think Edge Crusher. Yeah, Edge Crusher by Fear Factory, which was from their album Obsolete. So there used to be this store in Matunga called Music Craft. This very tiny hole in the wall store, man. Like if you miss it, you miss it. It's like that. So I used to buy a lot of cassettes from there back in the day. But he used to have like very, considerably mainstream stuff. Like he would have Metallica and Maiden and stuff like that. But it would be tough to find like death metal and all of that. But what happened was because he was doing a lot of import from EMI and Universal and all that, he got a couple of Roadrunner albums as well. And so I used to always go there and tell him, just empty out the metal section or whatever you've got in hard rock, as he used to call it, and just show it to me, and I'll see what I'll buy for you. And yeah, man, one day he ended up having the Fear Factory cassette, man, of Obsolete, and my mind was blown. And the thing is, so because it was an MP3, I didn't know what album it was from. And I was checking it and I just turned it back and I saw Edge Crusher, and that's the second song of the album. And I'm like, holy shit, this is the album that this song is on, and this is the band, Pure Factory. So yeah, man, immediate buy. I think I paid like some $130 for that cassette back in the day, but worth every penny, man. So that's how my fanboyism started, from a Roadrunner cassette that he'd imported just purely by chance. Because every time I used to go to, he used to tell me that he used to find out about bands, metal bands from me, because I mean it's a predominantly Gujarati area, that place. So people used to just come in and buy Bollywood stuff, and very rarely used to get people to even buy stuff like Metallica or Guns N' Roses and stuff like that. So to find someone who used to buy extreme metal for him was like insane, find for him as well. I bought a couple of albums from him, and I think I got B-side Once Upon the Cross on cassette from him also back in the day. Slipknot, a lot of stuff, man. And he was kind enough to sort of keep importing stuff for me. So Jayesh bhai, if you ever listen to this, thank you for all those years of service. For providing me with the cassettes that I never thought I would buy.
Yeah, without Jayesh bhai, there wouldn't be this fandom of Fear Factory and of Dino Cazares.
Yeah, definitely.
So, let's not waste any further time. Here's that chat. Here's Toila marking out. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Dino Cazares. Welcome to Horns Up, Dino.
Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it.
All right. So, first up, congratulations on Aggression Continuum. Do you feel a sense of relief now?
100% a sense of relief that the record is finally going to come out after being, finished way back in 2017 and then being able to finally complete it in 2020. And I'm glad it's very liberating that it's coming out.
Okay, so reviews have started trickling in, etc., etc. Yeah, what's been the funniest reaction to the album so far?
I don't know. I don't think I've read anything funny about any of the reactions. Are you talking about like the reaction videos or the reviews? Which ones are you talking about? I saw a bunch of
funny man.
I don't really know. There's just some kind of semi-funny ones, but just some weird people doing the reacting videos.
Okay, cool. So on the flip side, have there been any reviews or reaction videos that have made you seriously draw your attention to or think about a particular facet?
I mean, there's so many. It's hard for me to keep up with all of them. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I've seen and read a lot of reviews that have been really good. Yeah.
So Dino, given the amount of time and effort that's gone into this album, is this like the most expensive album to date for the band?
No, definitely not the most expensive one. Probably the most expensive one was probably Obsolete.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
That was a
That
very expensive record to make.
that's my favorite by you guys.
Yeah, we just recorded. We did the pre-production in Los Angeles, and then we recorded it in Canada. And we also hired the symphony orchestra to play Resurrection and Timelessness. And so, our costs were pretty high on that record, and we spent a long time mixing the album. We wanted it to be perfect mix. So back then, that was when we were actually recording old school style on an actual board,
mm-hmm.
not on a computer.
Okay. Okay. But given the amount of money that's gone into this particular record as well, here's a side of a left field business question here then. In today's day and age, especially given the pandemic, etc., how do you guys recoup the investments on this?
uh, through everything. If you're talking about personal investments, that takes a long time. But if you're talking about like the money that the record company invested in us, they make it back through record sales and through streaming and through different stuff like that. Also through YouTube. Unfortunately, Nuclear Blast takes all our royalties from YouTube, so they make all the money from that. So that's all goes into paying back the investment.
All right. So, what's your take on how people hear music these days, right? I mean, you talked about YouTube, and that plays an important part. So, a lot of it has, shifted to streams, videos. Does the choice of album or physical appeal still hold up? What do you think?
For me personally, it still holds up. Yes, especially with people now collecting a lot of vinyl, and so people want to make the artwork still work out. But as far as like because back in the day we used to put out digipacks, like special version of the actual CD. Nowadays, a lot of people don't want to invest in that. It costs too much money, and it's not worth it because not a lot of people are going to buy it like they used to back in the day. But for a band like us, they maybe only manufacture maybe 25,000 CDs, maybe a little more, because CDs are just not exactly where it's at. So it's all about streaming. It's all about views. It's all about subscriptions. It's all about likes nowadays. So a band could actually support themselves doing through all those different outlets compared to being signed to a record company. Not all bands need to be signed to a record company because some can literally do it themselves, and I see it every day. Not necessarily metal, but I do see a lot of hip hop and a lot of urban music like that do it themselves and make their own money, which is pretty cool. But right now, one thing that's really popular with a lot of people making money off online video views is a lot of guys who play guitar in their bedroom or in their studio and make content that way. People reviewing gear, all those people making really, really, really big money off the internet.
Okay, I'd like you to just break that down a bit more for us. And, while you're wearing the business hat on this, what's the value of a stream or a YouTube play for a band like Fear Factory?
Of course, it's all important. All of it is important. Uh, some people like to complain about streaming services. No, we don't exactly get paid the best percentage, but at least bands now, because of online streaming services, bands that never used to make money off the radio because they were never played on the radio, now they're able to make money off streaming. For instance, take Fear Factory back in the day. we were not making any money off publishing, off streaming, because there was no outlet for it. There was just no, it was very, very little radio for us or any kind of anywhere for anybody to really hear the band. It's just about being on tour, going out and playing in front of many people as you possibly can. Nowadays, for a band like Fear Factory or even any newer school bands, the streaming services are very, very important, and people are able to make a career off of that, just solely off that. But for us, we've been around for a long time, so we're lucky that we get a lot of views and a lot of streams. So all of it's important, no matter what size band you are.
Fantastic. Thank you.
So I was reading up some of your old interviews, and this is the time when you released Genexus, where you described the album as it would land somewhere between demanufactured and obsolete. So now that you're promoting Aggression Continuum, where do you think that lies in your overall discography?
Good question. I think that this probably has the anger and the energy of Mechanize. It has a diversity of obsolete. And I think some of the electronic elements of demanufacture. So it's got hints of classic Fear Factory all over the place. You know what I mean? Every record we do, we try to improve, or we try to make it better than the last, Obviously, there's a classic record like Demanufacture. It's very, very hard to beat. You know what I mean? But we've gone other places since that time. Obsolete, it was a very big record for us, very well-rounded record that appealed to a lot of people, and it was groovier, in some cases even heavier than Demanufactured. On this record, we really wanted to bring the energy, the intensity, and the beautiful melodic parts as well. The contrast between the heavy vocals and the melodic vocals are much more apparent on this record compared to some of the previous records. And the same thing with the guitar riffs and the beats. I think working with different keyboard players as well added some new nuances and dynamics to the album as well. And actually putting live drums on this record also helped with the dynamics as well. So, and we wanted the heavy parts and melodic parts to be even more of a contrast than previous albums. And I think that we achieved that. And I think that's one of the beauties of this record is just being able to do that and make it work in a song.
So Dino, having said that, what's the one thing about Aggressive Continuum that you'd like both fans and critics to take notice of?
I would like them to take notice that this is an intense record. It's a roller coaster. It's got a movie-esque vibe to it. The first song, Recode, is intense. It's powerful. It's big. It's cinematic. It's movie-esque. And then the rest of the record, there's riffs all over the place. There's killer vocals everywhere. The beats are fucking badass. And I like for people to hear it as a record, as compared to just one song, because I think that the whole record is that kind of a record that you want to listen from start to finish.
That's true. Now I can see.
That's true. Yeah, like what I heard, from what I heard, it was like riffs galore, and I was like a happy man after that. But yeah, that being said, let's play a song from Aggressive Continuum, and which one should we play and why?
Okay, I think that Aggression Continuum would be the title track would be a good song to play, because one, it's got the intro is the automaton talking to a human, and the human is trying to tell the automaton that it's not human, that it's a machine. It was only made to kill. So I really like that intro. And then when it goes into the riff, it gets heavy, it gets fast. And then I really like the pre-chorus, no more will I be your victim, no more will I stand. That part is really cool. And then going into the melodic chorus is killer. And then, of course, the mid breakdown is fucking badass. So play that song.
were made by humans to afflict death! We're different! I'm a man, I have life! You're a machine!
You've been doing a lot of media. I mean, you're talking to three of us here in India, but it takes a lot of time and effort, right? So just straight up, why choose to spend so much time with the press?
Well, first of all, it's my record, so I want to promote the record, right? Second of all, it's a great record. So why would anybody have a problem talking about something that they created that they're very proud of? So I am very proud of what it is that I'm telling you about. And I want people to listen to the record and enjoy it. You know what I mean? Whether they buy it or stream it or whatever, I really want them to get into the record, get into the concept, get into the story, get into the music, get into the vibe, and just that's the beauty about being in a band, is you want as many people to hear it as possible.
Given that you're spending so much time with the media, what are your thoughts on music journalism these days? Especially at a time when fans and influencers and the ilk have platforms that are on par with professional journalists, critics, and reviewers.
Well, first of all, there's a lot more people involved now than there was, 10, 15 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has because of COVID, everybody has, whoever invented Zoom is a bazillionaire. You know that, right?
So, for sure.
So now everybody could do interviews and meetings and do their own little podcasts, do their own video podcast, whatever you want to call it. So everybody's a critic, everybody's a journalist now. So that's probably the reason why you're seeing more of me, because there's a lot more people doing this stuff, right? And I think it's cool. I think it's just another way for us to get, our story out there, our music, to more people. And I think it's more engaging as well. You know what I mean? So I enjoy it. I don't mind talking to people about my band or about my music. No, not at all. I love it.
Yeah, I'm glad that you are actually doing it. But coming back to the music, Fear Factory's music, the theme has always been about, how technology will eventually take over humanity. And looking at the time that we're currently in, right, where people are, sorry, let me take this again. Do you think the time is now, with people who are so dependent on their phones and hooked onto social media?
Well, everybody's addicted to the iOS device, yeah, or any kind of a, handheld computer. But yeah, we've always talked about the relationship between human and AI, and just how technology has definitely advanced in our day-to-day life. Some things we notice, some things we don't notice. You know what I mean? Look how much COVID has changed a lot. You know what I mean? Everybody's now, like I said earlier, Zoom is a bazillionaire. But yeah, thank God that we have these devices, because what happens if we were locked down and we didn't have these devices? We didn't have the computer. We didn't have the FaceTime. What would it be like? I can't even imagine what that would be like, being locked down. I think there would be more suicides. But yeah, we definitely embraced the technology of where it's going. We've been fans of futuristic movies. Ray Kurzweil, who's a futurist, in books that we've, kept up with a lot of the news, where like companies like Boston Dynamics, Boston Robotics, who are making
the dogs,
all these, the police dogs, and just things like that, and just how technology is advancing even better and better and more. Like the other day, I just saw this new, somebody got their arm cut off, and they had a new arm that they could put on, right?
Yeah.
Well, they were able to connect the nerves, right? And they were able to connect the nerves, so the brain can actually still send signal to this robotic arm, which is really cool. And that's getting better and better now, that pretty soon it's even going to be more joined together. And it's going to be like, yeah, if you lose a finger or a hand or arm or wrist, a foot, a leg, you're going to easily be able to replace it, no problem. And it would still function like that, because your brain, even though you lost the arm, your brain still thinks it's there. Like your brain is still trying to send signals. It's still doing that. So they figured out now how to capture the signals, through your nerves, right? And be able to make that arm be normal.
Yeah, man, the future is going to be wild.
That's
I'm
just
pretty sure.
minor. Yeah, that's just minor of what's happening.
Having said that, in the future, I'm pretty sure there's going to be a time when, just like a cartridge or just like you'd seen in the Matrix movie, somebody will be offering how to play like Dino Cazares cartridge.
Yeah, pretty soon you can buy like my arm, and just put it on.
I'll take that. Honestly, I'll take that.
Yeah. Well, everybody's addicted to iOS devices, and technology is not always for the best.
Yeah, but on the flip side, right, you're one of the very few musicians who have really taken to just the opportunity that digital media provides, right? Patreon, Twitter. How rewarding has this process been for you? Because you're certainly giving back to the fans and directly interacting with so many of them now.
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoy it. There's a lot of fans who have a lot of questions, and they want to know more about their favorite band. You know what I mean? So a lot of people ask me questions. It doesn't necessarily always have to be. They don't necessarily always ask the best questions. Some of them, do talk a lot of shit, but that's okay. I try to answer as much as possible to everybody else. You know what I mean? And I try to give back as much as possible. I do have a Patreon page where you can go see all my playthrough videos and my instructional videos, and you can even download some of my patches that I have for neural DSP and Kemper patches. So you can go there and you can download that stuff, and you can at least have my tones that I offer. I don't know. It's just a new way to be connected with fans, and also a new way to make money, and try to survive during this time of COVID. You know what I mean? So it's definitely opened up a lot of things for musicians who were never doing it before to do it now.
Yeah, and also at the same time, how infuriating is it sifting through so many opinions, especially the really ill-informed ones, and does it ever get to you ever?
Well, yeah, sometimes things, of course they do. Sometimes things get to me, because what really gets to me is that when somebody's misinformed and they don't really know the truth, but they give their opinion based off maybe something that they might have heard or something like that. But if anybody follows me on Twitter or any of my social media pages, they will know the truth. They will know the answer. So they don't have to go far or go digging too far to find the truth. But some people just don't bother to doing it. And so that's the things that really bother me.
Yeah, I follow you, and sometimes it's kind of hilarious. Sometimes I feel you just need like an automated bot to reply to some of the questions.
That would be much easier for me.
All right. So we have a few more questions to wrap this up. And since we're talking to you from India, right? We actually were at your show in 2014 when you played here in India. So I want to ask you, what's your memories from your time here? I mean, other than the food, of course.
Oh, the food is amazing there. Well, first of all, I love Indian food. I love naan bread. You know what I like about the naan bread is that they were making me spicy naan bread. I would say make it extra spicy. So I would order garlic naan with extra spice. And the guy was like, "Oh, you like it hot? Oh, you like it hot?" I'm like, "Yeah, make it hotter. I'm Mexican, so I like it hot." So that's one of the things I liked about the food there is because you guys definitely match the spice of Mexican food.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So the first place we went to was Pune. Pune. And that was more of a contrast of the poverty and the non-poverty. It was more of I see more of a contrast, right? And they did tell us, don't walk around at night. We were like, why? What's the big deal? I come from LA. It's pretty bad. I can get shot in LA, right? But no, one of the things I liked about it was, especially at the show, that people were really passionate. People were really into the music, and they were just extremely happy that there was an American band there. Like, oh my God, Fear Factor! I never thought you'd ever come to my country. Like, you're here. You know, I remember when I got off the plane and we got in a taxi, or the taxis, or just car service that picked us up, and we were driving, I think, 2 hours to Pune. So first of all, we flew 22 hours to get to India, and then 2 hours in the taxi to go to Pune. And I just remember all I heard was everybody was honking, beep 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 beep. Everywhere honk, beep 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 beep. And I realized that that's how you guys communicate on the road. When you guys are driving, you guys communicate. Hey, I'm over here, beep beep. Hey, I'm over here, beep beep. You guys communicate that way, and I was like, wow. And then I see everybody on motorcycles, a million motorcycles, right? And then tuk tuk. I got on the tuk tuk, and that was cool, a little tuk tuk ride. And then just getting to the hotel. When we got to the hotel, I remember that the hotel had a big wall around it. It was a big wall, and it was at night, right? Big wall, and the security guards were checking the car before we went into the hotel, and I realized that it was they were checking for bombs or anything like that, anything weird, right? So then we got to go in. They opened the big gates open up, and we got to go in. And then once we got to the hotel, there was metal detectors in the hotel. The door had metal detectors, and then you had to put the band gear through the detectors as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was like, wow, this is very high security here. So then we get inside, and there's these guys, they're all wearing black suits. But the thing that threw me off, that was really, really cool, was they all had black turbans. I was like, wow, I've never seen black turbans like that. Black turban, black suits. Like, wow, these guys are cool. And we're talking everything black. Black t-shirts, button-up t-shirts, black jacket, black pants, black shoes, black turban. And I was like, that was a cool look. And then when we got to the room and we got to see over the wall, I just saw the poverty that was around the area. And now I knew why they had the wall. You know what I mean? I guess because there's a lot of homeless kids that they ask you for money, and I guess they don't want those kids around. I don't know. I don't really know the exact ideology about that, but that's how it was. Because when we were walking to the mall, from the hotel, there was a mall like 3 blocks away. So we walked to the mall, and we noticed that everybody was stopping on the street for the cow to walk by. The sacred cow was walking by, and everybody was like, they all stopped, let the cow go by. Then
You got the best India experience.
I know.
hold on. Then we're walking to the hotel, and I see a box on the sidewalk. There's a box, and outside of the box is 2 pairs of shoes, tiny shoes. And I said, hey, look at the box. I bet you somebody's inside there. When they heard my voice, 2 little kids get out of the box, and they came, and they were asking us for money. No problem. We gave them money, no problem, right? It was, you never want to see that, but that's just how it is, right? And then all of a sudden, there was at least 15 kids all around us. They were all asking for money, blah, blah, blah. One kid, maybe 5-6 years old, was holding a baby that was like maybe 6 months old or a year old, was trying to push us to give him more money. We gave him more money. It was a very weird experience to see, but that's how they make a living, right?
Yep.
So when we get to the mall, and before we go into the mall, we have to go through security. And the security were shooing away all the kids. Like, oh, you got to get out of here. And it was so funny because you could tell the kids were calling them names in Indian. I couldn't tell what they were saying, but you could tell they were talking shit to the security guards. And we thought it was funny. And then we get into the mall. Before we go into a mall, all of a sudden we see these cameras, like paparazzi cameras, and there was two actors, Bollywood actors, a guy and a girl. I guess they're a couple, a famous couple, were walking into the mall. And so you had all these paparazzis following them, and we're like, damn, we got like the most famous and richest Bollywood people, that could be the Kardashians of fucking Bollywood. I don't know. And then we have the poverty, the extreme poverty of the kids, and then a sacred cow walking by. It was pretty interesting experience. Then I go into the mall, and what do I see? Starbucks, Cinnabon. I see a Mexican restaurant, and I'm like, what the hell? I did not leave LA. This mall is so much like LA. So that's my experience. And then playing the shows were just out of this world. It was amazing. You want to hear more?
No.
Yeah. Dino, you've been part of some legendary brands like Brujeria and Assassino and Divine Heresy, to name a few. So how do you keep switching your writing process between them and Fear Factory? And also on a personal side note, can we expect the Assassino release soon in the future?
Okay, whenever I work on each project, sometimes, and I've tried this before, but it's hard. You can't work on I can't work on two different projects at the same time, because then they start to kind of blend into each other.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't do that. So whenever I work on a project, I commit to working on that project, right? Because I can't work on two projects at the same time. So I commit to one, and that's how I'm able to separate the sounds and the styles, right? So when it comes to writing for Brujeria or Assassino, I got to get into that. It's got to be brutal, death metal, grind, all that killer shit, guitar solos everywhere, stuff like that. So I got to get into that mode, and I stay there. You know what I mean? And I focus only on that. I can't write for Fear Factory at the same time. No way. It won't work. Right? Same thing when I work on Divine Heresy. I got to be focused on that. That has a lot more riffs, a lot more solos as well. So I try to separate them whenever I work on them.
So can we expect a new Assassino or Divine Heresy album soon?
Yeah, oof. That's a difficult question, because now, ever since that I've been the sole remaining member of Fear Factory, that all my focus is on this right now. Secondly, when we announced the new singer, all my focus is going to be working with that singer. So a lot of stuff coming up. Tour dates are going to be announced next year. So there's going to be a lot of things coming up Fear Factory that I'm not going to be able to have time for other projects. But whenever I can, if I get a little bit of time here and there, I'll try to work on it.
Fantastic. Finally, Dino, we just have to know, what was the kind of sandwich you'd made for Dave Mustaine?
No, I don't remember. That was a long time ago. I made a lot of sandwiches for a lot of famous people, believe it or not.
On that note, Dino, thank you so much for sparing some time out and talking to us. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you very much, man. I can't wait to go back to your country and experience it all over again.
Yeah, just bring the new singer. It's only a 22-hour flight.
Plus a 2-hour drive with all the honking.
To Pune.
Yeah.
And then Mumbai. I love Mumbai. Mumbai was great.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dino. Yeah.
Bye.
So, guys, Peter and Aditya, or Urf Toila, who would you pick as Fear Factory's new singer?
Dude, I think it can be a big swerve and it can be Burton all over again. It's just a confidence.
I know, you know what? Like for all this kind of WWE style drama, right? You'll suddenly have Burton back, and it's like, I'm back, bitches. I was reading all those comments that mean comments y'all made about me, and now here's a new album.
Yeah, but I think realistically, so like Dino said that it can be a male or female. So I would probably, if I would want to technically see someone do it, it would be Tatiana. I guess her name is from Ginger. I think she could be a good fit for Fear Factory if she gives it a shot. I mean, I
Dude.
think she's a perfect fit for Fear Factory, to be honest.
Ballsy pick.
Yeah, cult points are gone. Metal thread is down.
No, it's not. It's not about that. It's just that like Ginger's blowing up, right?
Yeah.
So why would she end up like unless Dino says, yeah, it's fine, you can continue doing Ginger while you're with Fear Factory.
I mean, Bog is with Machine Head and Azabeth Decapitated, and he's writing albums like material for both of them. It's just a speculation, so who knows?
So this is a really like strange pick, but I don't know why when you said male or female, I was just thinking, imagine Angela Gasgo making a comeback, dude. That would be nuts, right?
Yeah. I mean, but I doubt she will because I think she's managing Arch Enemy now. Like,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's a great story, but I'm just like imagine her
Yeah.
vocals on top of like
yeah. But I doubt she should do any clean singing like that level of clean singing. Or I mean, I don't know, man. Like, but she would be a great fit, nevertheless. Yeah. I think shit, I forgot his name, man. The guy from Threat Signal, the vocalist of Threat Signal.
oh yeah, John Howard. He would be
John
great.
Howard, yeah. He would be like fucking phenomenal. I think he has a side project with Brian Stroud now, which kind of sounds like Fear Factory and SYL together. And yeah, man, his vocals would like you'd kill it in Fear Factory if given the chance, I feel. But
So
yeah,
here's all my cult points going, but Mark Hunter from Chimera, that would be a not bad a pick.
definitely. We've not let Animesh tell his choices yet. I'm interested in those.
Vishwesh Krishnamurti needs to come back out of retirement.
Oh,
He would be crazy. Yeah, he would do some crazy good.
Energy match, performance match will gel with Dino. Will probably be able to innovate in Fear Factory. Yeah, right.
that'd be
How I wish.
Yeah, he'll become the Dillinger Fear Factory plan then after that.
Yeah, exactly.
Fear Factory plan.
Or maybe Fear Factory just does what Scribe did or attempted to do when they lost their original vocalist. Bring in two vocalists.
Probably, yeah.
Oh yeah, Scar Symmetry also. Yeah, they were two vocals.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Dual vocal attack.
Two vocalists, I mean, is a bit of overkill for Fear Factory, I feel. But I mean, anything goes in this world, man. Self has said right now it's open for speculation. So
He enjoys the speculation.
Yeah, he does. He loves the media. I'm telling you.
Ladies and gentlemen, who would you pick as Fear Factory's new vocalist? Do let us know. We are all ears. You can reach out to us, the usual, hornsupod.com or on Twitter at hornsupod. As always, I'm on Twitter at AsmoAnnie.
I'm at Trend Crusher.
you can find me by searching for Aditya Rao on Twitter.
And this was Horns Up.
Horns up, guys.
Cheers.